area, and you can enter any questions you may have as they're speaking in the chat, and we will have time for a Q&A at the end.
Maya?
Yeah, sorry. So we're going to start with BUPD.
Okay, great. Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, I should say. I'm Officer Landy of the Bloomsburg University Police, and I'm going to go over a couple bullet points, a couple of touch points here, explaining what service we provide here on campus to the campus community, students, faculty, staff, and so forth, as well as visitors. So I'll give you a couple things here as far as where we're located and how to contact us. We're on Facebook, so it's easy. If you're on Facebook, you can follow us there on Facebook. We're located at the back of Andrus Library, which faces our office faces the rec center is the easiest way to describe it. You can't miss it. We've got flags out front. We've got signage illuminated, so on and so forth. We're open 24 hours a day, 365 days a week, or 365 days a year. So we're a fully accredited police agency here for the state of Pennsylvania and for Bloomsburg University. And right now we have approximately 17 officers, full-time officers, and we have a couple additional part-time officers. And most of what we do is just like any other law enforcement agency. We're a fully functioning law enforcement agency that we conduct criminal investigations, provide respond to calls for service, and provide additional benefits for the student and faculty and staff here at the university. We work closely with the district attorney's office and federal state agencies and so forth. So if there is anything that you need, the number that you can reach us, which is a non-emergency, it's an emergency number for here at the police department, but it's not the 911 number. You can access through 911. However, that goes through county and it takes just a little bit longer. So the number here, the direct number here is area code 570-389-2211. So what are some of the additional things we do? We do parking enforcement, do traffic direction. We do criminal investigations on campus here. A lot of what we handle is alcohol violations, some odor investigations. You know, our main purpose is to maintain a safe environment for all the students and the faculty and staff. One of the things I want to talk to you about real quick, I'm sure you're going to need to know this, is if you have a vehicle that you plan on bringing a vehicle on campus, you are allowed to have a vehicle as an incoming freshman. And basically, parking is assigned by credit hours. Anything under 60 credit hours, you're parking mainly in the Blue Lot parking facility, which is up on upper campus. There are buses that run about every 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes from the Arts and Administration Building bus stop up to the community center at JKA, which is adjacent to the Blue Lot. And so the buses run until about midnight every night of the week, except for Saturdays. Saturdays they cut off at 7. So you have to be mindful of the time of day, because you don't want to be stuck having to walk all the way from upper campus down to lower campus if you come in after midnight and the buses no longer run. So that's a big touch point that you really need to be familiar with. You can buy your parking passes starting August 1st by going online to the Bloomsburg University website and go to the section that's called iPark, and you can purchase your parking passes for your vehicle. I believe that it hasn't changed. I believe they're $75 per semester. So once you have your parking passes, you should be good to go. And I would recommend that you do that before coming on campus move-in day, because move-in day is pretty hectic anyway. And it's be one less thing that you have to worry about. You'll have your parking decal all squared away. Let me see, we do have call boxes on campus. I believe the approximate distance between the call boxes is about 300 feet. in a diameter. So you really, if you stand in one location, you should be able to see at least one call box, if not several. And the way they work is basically if you have any type of emergency situation, whether it's a health situation or you need police there right away, you push the button and dispatch will respond, and it acts like a phone line. And basically you talk to them back and forth, and all the while that you're having that dialogue with our dispatcher, we're listening on our radios because it comes across our radios as well. And we're normally on the way before you even finish your call with dispatch. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot the questions out to me, and I will do my very best to answer whatever questions you have to the best of my ability. One last thing is, if you do have a dead battery, we do jump offs where we'll go up the jump pack and jump your car so that you're you don't have to sit there with a dead battery. We don't shovel people out. We don't push people out of snowbanks. We don't change tires or anything like that. But I would recommend going to school here in Pennsylvania. With the winter driving, you should have a snow shovel and ice scrapers and things like that in your vehicle for the winter months. So with that being said, any questions, feel free to ask. And thank you very much for the time.
Mark, we have a question in the Q&A. It was, do parking passes cost the same for commuter students?
Yes, I believe that they do. And the commuter students will be parked. If you're a commuter student, you have a designated parking space as well, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you're going to be parking in the commuter parking lots, which are known as the black parking lots. And they're the black colored lots because they coincide with the black decal that you'll be getting. And they are going to be the area behind the rec center, the area behind the library adjacent to where the police department is, and also the tri-level and a portion of the hospital lot. So, but check the website because you'll have to check it when you purchase your parking pass anyway, but I believe that they're going to be the same.
Okay, up next we have Healthy Husky.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christy Hammaker, and I'm the health and wellness educator here at Bloomsburg University. I am going to share my screen. And actually, I'm unable to do that, Juliana, while you're sharing your screen. So if you don't mind pausing yours so that I can share mine. Thank you. Little slow. All right, here we go. Health and wellness is made up of the health center, the counseling center, the alcohol and other drug prevention and intervention services. And as the health educator, I work with our peer educators called the Husky Paws. And really, we made this great video a while back, and so I'm going to play it for you because it really does summarize most of the important information. And then I'm going to have Kim Zaleski with our health center tell you a few more pertinent details for the upcoming semester. Oh, sorry. I always forget to share the sound.
Studies show that healthy students are more successful students. Students who take care of their health and wellness have better attendance in class, score higher on exams and projects, and are more successful overall. The best way to stay healthy is to take care of yourself in the first place. Healthy Husky is the name of our health and wellness initiative at Bloomsburg University. Health and wellness at BU includes the programs and services offered by the Student Health Center, the Center for Counseling and Human Development, the Dawn Office, focusing on alcohol and other drug prevention and intervention, the Husky Paws, peer-assisted wellness services, our student peer health educators, and the health and wellness educator. We all work together to get the message out about our programs and services that help students develop skills and access resources for healthier living. If you aren't feeling well, perhaps you have a sore throat or a fever, you should call 570-389-4451 to make an appointment to see a healthcare professional at the Student Health Center, conveniently located in the Care Union building near the Husky Lounge. Please call early in the day if you are not feeling well. You can ask to talk with a nurse or request an appointment. During your appointment, you will typically see a doctor or a nurse practitioner who will recommend a plan to help you feel better. You can also call in and schedule a check-in visit to talk with one of our providers, learn about our services, and plan to improve your health. There also is a convenient and free self-care area in the health center lobby that is open during normal operating hours. Stop in between classes if you need some pain reliever, decongestant, salt for gargling to soothe a sore throat, condoms, band-aids, antibiotic ointment, and self-care educational pamphlets. Your health and wellness fee is used to cover these services, so please use them. Remember, the Student Health Center can help you with many medical issues, yet they are not a full-scale primary clinic. It is important that you maintain your relationships with your primary care provider or any specialists to help direct your ongoing care, especially when you have been receiving care for more complex medical conditions. If you have any questions about what is covered or how you coordinate care, please call the Student Health Center and talk with one of the staff. Another very important reminder: if you get sick or injured when the Student Health Center is not open and believe you need to be seen before the next clinic day, the local Bloomsburg Hospital Emergency Services and Urgent Care Clinic is just across the street from campus. If you access these services, you will need to use your personal health care insurance. If you have any questions, please call the Student Health Center and the staff will guide you. One final and very important request: please complete your BU health forms, including health history and immunization dates, before starting at BU. Immunization dates are very important when you come to college. Go to bloomu.edu/health and click on the button that says Web Portal Login. Sign in with your Husky ID and password. Completing these forms helps the Student Health Center take care of you and keeps our campus healthy. If you have questions about this, just call the Student Health Center at 570-389-4451. Making healthy choices can help you prevent illness and maintain health and wellness. The Health and Wellness/Dawn office, located on the second floor of the Warren Student Services Center, has knowledgeable professional staff, as well as the Husky Paws peer educators. We can provide one-on-one sessions, workshops, or offer campus outreach programs to promote healthy behaviors regarding stress management, sleep, physical activity, healthy eating on campus, and how to make healthy choices on campus about alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. To find out more information, please watch for our events on campus in our monthly health and wellness calendar or call the office at 570-389-4980. The Center for Counseling and Human Development is also located in the Warren Student Service Center on the second floor. With all that is going on with school and your life in general, we find that many students can feel overwhelmed, anxious, or even depressed. You can schedule an appointment with a counselor, or you can walk in during our daily walk-in hours to sit down and talk with one of them about counseling options, including one-on-one counseling or approaches to learn new skills and tools for coping better with everything, or assistance on how to connect with other helpful resources on campus or in the community. To find out more about the Counseling Center, contact us at 570-389-4255. Your health and wellness fee allows you to have access to all of these health and wellness services: the Student Health Center, the Health and Wellness and Dawn office, and the Center for Counseling and Human Development. You also have access to a number of programs and awareness events that can be really fun, informative, and help you. So check them out and be a healthy Husky. Join us on social media, on Husky Sync, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, or Instagram. And remember, be a healthy Husky.
So now, all right, now I'm going to pass it over to Kim Zaleski, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about the Student Health Center.
So good evening, and it is so nice to meet you virtually. My name is Kim Zaleski, and again, I'm one of the nurses who works in the Student Health Center here at BU. As the video indicated, we are located in room 324 in the Care Union building. So we are right next to the Husky Eatery, and that's how all the students find us. We are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 during the fall and spring semesters. But important to you all this summer is that we are open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4. So as you are planning to come to BU over the summer months, we encourage you to call us if you have health concerns, questions about medications, about allergy shots, about birth control, about living conditions, anything that, that you're wondering about. Please don't wonder. Give us a call and we can, work through it with you or perhaps your parents, your supporters. And then if you're wondering about what happens if you're ill or, not feeling well or have an injury during an evening or perhaps on a Saturday or Sunday, as the video mentioned, the Geisinger Bloomsburg Hospital is conveniently located right across Light Street Road from our campus. There is catwalk, and then also our BU police in coordination with either the CAs or the adults in the dorms can assist you with getting transport for non-emergent transport to the emergency department or the urgent care, which they term convenient care. So I think we could go. Thank you. So we do function as appointments only, and that phone number we encourage you to put right in your phone. As you're sitting on this webinar tonight, just throw that into your contact list under Health Center. When I talk to you all in person, I say it's never a problem until it's a problem. And when you're coming to college, you are thinking about all the exciting things, your classes and your living arrangements and your books and the swag and all the good stuff. And is the food good, but not your health necessarily. So we just want you to have access to us if you need us. We do ask that you call us to make an appointment. So if you're not feeling well, like overnight, give us a shout early in the morning, maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30, make an appointment. Some students start to feel better, they cancel appointments, but we do try to function like a doctor's office. And when I say we, who are we? We have a medical director who's our physician. She's with us about 3 days a week. We have nurse practitioners who are with us all day, every day. Our triage nurses, of course, our health and wellness educator, who you already met in the session before this, and then our front desk staff. We also encourage you to make appointments when you get here in August. Come and meet us, kind of thinking like a wellness visit. Maybe you do that with your primary care physician once a year. So if you have health concerns or you have paperwork or you just want to come and meet us, call and say, I'd like to make a wellness visit, and reach out to us. In terms of the services that we provide basic health care, health prevention, and health promotion services. We do encourage you to keep your relationships with your primary care physician, but also your specialists. And that is so, so important. So our students who have more complex health issues, for example, diabetes or Crohn's or any of the countless other issues that you may have, including mental health, we want you to be thinking about how are you going to maintain those relationships? When are you going to have your appointments? Can you have routine appointments in November, December when you're going home for breaks? Or will you have to go in September and October? Be thinking about maybe like class days, and the way that you go to appointments when you're in college is similar to how we all miss work. You let your boss know. Well, in your case, you let your professors know. You have an appointment scheduled. Read the syllabus and follow the syllabus for class absences. Often professors require documentation when you return to your classes. So, but it is very important that you maintain your relationships. So don't think that once you're here that you don't go home to your, care providers at home. Then health and wellness fee versus insurance. We encourage students and their supporters during the summer months to check to see whether your insurance is accepted locally at Geisinger Medical Center. And the reason you would need insurance is for things like a hospital visit, or maybe going over for an x-ray, or if you would have to be seen at the urgent care across. Your health and wellness fee will cover whether you come to the health center 1 time, 5 times, or 25 times. So we are, there is no insurance, you're covered when you come to see us. We have some small charges for lab tests and some medications in our pharmacy. But again, by small, I mean like $5 to $10, so not very expensive. On the right side of the screen is some ideas for first aid items to bring to college, because remember, you won't be able to wander into the downstairs bathroom medicine cabinet should you have any headaches or cut yourself, or think you have a temperature. So bring a thermometer, bring a little bit of medication, so that if you're not feeling well, you have the opportunity to start treating yourself before you call us to get an appointment. This is your summer homework. As mentioned on the video, we ask that you go to our website, bloomu.edu/health, click on about halfway down the page on the button that says Web Portal Login, log in with your Husky ID and password, and complete the 6 health-related compliance forms. One of those, the most important in my opinion, is the immunization compliance form. We're going to get to in a second here. All right. Prior to COVID, these are the immunizations that I used to talk about and emphasize. And the one thing that we have clearly learned over the last roughly year and a half is that infectious disease does mean business. So infectious disease outbreaks on a campus with things like measles, mumps, chickenpox are very disruptive, not only for the person who's ill, but also for the people who are exposed. So more than likely, you are immunized against these childhood diseases. The issue, of course, is that we don't know that. Unlike in K through 12, where your immunizations followed you once you started school, we don't have that advantage. So that's why it's so, so important that you log in and you complete your health forms for us. So we're going to go right to the next slide. Other recommended immunizations, strongly recommended, is meningitis B. That's a more recent meningitis vaccine, also the most prevalent in the United States. So if you haven't received MenB, you want to have a discussion with perhaps your parents, your supporters, and or your healthcare provider regarding receiving that prior to coming to college. We do strongly recommend an annual flu shot, which we do provide for free on campus. Look for that information to come out in October. Again, social media, email, any one of the large screens on campus. They're like TV screens where we advertise everything going on, including flu shots. And then, of course, the COVID-19 vaccine. We at Bloomsburg will continue to follow CDC and Pennsylvania Department of Health guidelines regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. Currently, we can tell you that if you are fully vaccinated when you come here in August, you will not have to participate in our routine surveillance testing program, and you also will not have to quarantine if you're exposed to somebody who is COVID positive or exhibiting COVID-like symptoms if you yourself remain asymptomatic, meaning you yourself do not become ill. Also, I'm sure you've heard by now that there is a scholarship opportunity, and the odds are better for our incoming students. There is one $5,000 scholarship, and I believe it's 5 $2,500 scholarships for students who are vaccinated and submit their documentation of their immunization status to the Student Health Center. So on the screen is our fax number, which is most secure. Then there's our email address, which you're welcome to email a copy of your immunization card. And then also you can mail if that is better suited to your needs. We recommend that you keep a copy of your vaccination card with you at all times, and also take a picture and put it on your phone so that you have it readily available to you should you ever need it. And then this slide just encompasses all of the contact information and all of our resources, kind of in a nice tidy place, where we are and our phone numbers and our emails. So we are so glad to meet you, even though it's virtually. Welcome, welcome to BU.
And up next is campus dining.
All right, thank you so much. I would like to share my screen as well. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, so my name is Sean Shears. I am with Bloomsburg University Dining Services, And I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the dining program as well as meal plans and how you can stay in contact with us. So just a brief overview of everything that we have here on campus. We have a total of 14 different campus dining locations with a pretty wide range of hours. So we have things open as early as 7:30 in the morning and meal periods that go as late as midnight. So no matter what your schedule looks like, you should be able to get something to eat here on campus. But some of our locations include our all-you-can-eat dining hall, which is the Scranton Commons. It's kind of our home base for the dining program. But we have some food courts on campus. So those would include Husky Lounge, as well as Monty's, which is on upper campus, and Rungo's near the quad. We have 2 outdoor food cart and food trucks. So those are great for if you're on the move and you need to quick grab something to eat, you can most certainly get some lunch from one of them. We have a mini convenience market, and we also have a lot of national brands here on campus and things that you've known to eat at quite a bit throughout your life. We have Starbucks. We have 2 of those actually. We have Chick-fil-A. We have Subway, Qdoba, and our newest addition into the national brand family here on campus is Bento Sushi, which will be opening this fall. We're all very excited about. We have a pretty wide range of menu selections across campus. So no matter what it is that you're interested in eating, I'm sure that we have something for you. That includes all different dietary needs and preferences, including vegan, vegetarian, as well as students who have any food allergies. We can most certainly accommodate that. So for anyone who's going to be living on campus for their first year, our recommendations on your meal plan selection would be either the weekly 19 plan with either $250 or $300 in flex, or the weekly 14 plan with either $250 or $300 in flex. And then we have some recommendations on here for commuter students as well. So if you're commuting, please take note that we do have meal plans available for you. Just one less thing to worry about if you're driving here to campus every day. Pardon me. So our weekly meal plans give you, like I said, either 19 or 14 meals that you use per week. The meal period runs from Monday to Sunday. So Sunday into Monday is when they would reset for the week. But you could use those meals at the Scranton Commons, which is our main all-you-can-eat dining hall. But you could also utilize them at a lot of our other campus dining locations as well, using what's called meal equivalency. So you would redeem your meal swipe as $5.90 towards the costs of purchasing a meal at somewhere like Husky Lounge, Monty's, or Subway. That meal swipe can be used at more places than just the all-you-can-eat dining hall. Then, as mentioned before, there's flex that comes with every meal plan as well. So those flex dollars are primarily used at locations like Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, and Qdoba. Reason being is that you're not able to use your meal swipes at those locations, but you can use your flex dollars at them. So those are kind of the main spots you can use them, but you can use those flex dollars at any of our dining locations that we have on campus. And then if you have not signed up for your meal plan yet, the housing web portal is where you do that. So that's housingweb.bloomu.edu. So that's where you go to sign up for your meal plan for the fall. And then social media is big for us here on campus with dining. We have a lot of different events that we do throughout the year. We have a lot of pop-ups like special events. We have weekly limited time offers that we do across all of our locations. So there's a lot of good stuff going on across dining, and the best way to keep up with that is on our social media. Instagram is definitely the preferred one of the 3, but if you do not have Instagram and you'd like to follow us on Facebook or Twitter, you can do that as well. If you have it open on your screen, you can just scan that QR code, it'll bring you right to it. But if not, we have the handles on there as well for you to note. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to let me know. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity.
John, we do have one question. It says, if a commuter, can the student use cash or another credit card?
Yes, commuting students can also use cash or credit at any of our campus dining locations as well. So that's always an option. Or if you'd like to add flex dollars, or there's another form of on-campus currency as well called Husky Gold. You can use Husky Gold at all of our campus dining locations as well. So there's multiple options for commuting students.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, and up next is University Disability Services.
Great, thanks, Juliana. So I'm Tess Fossey, I'm the Director of University Disability Services. Our office is in place for students who need accommodations and making sure that those accommodations are fulfilled at the university level. Sometimes it's students who have come in with accommodations from their K through 12 setting and want to see which of those accommodations continue at the college level. Other times it's students with more recent diagnoses that need to have accommodations put in place for the first time at the college level. So the types of accommodations that we cover in our office are housing, which I do want to put a plug in. If you are looking for any sort of housing accommodation based on a documented disability, you will need to fill out that special housing request form on the Residence Life webpage. And that should be done as soon as possible, just to make sure that you are getting the room situation and arrangement that will best suit your needs and set you up for success. The sooner you do that, the easier it is for housing to meet those accommodations. But you'll also meet with our office if you have any housing accommodations. We handle parking accommodations based on documented disability. We also work very closely with dining on campus for students who might have specific nutrition needs. And then, of course, academic accommodations. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about the types of diagnoses that can receive accommodations according to law in a post-secondary setting. So at the college level, of course, traditional students coming in often have learning disabilities, ADHD, they might have ASD, but some of the conditions that don't necessarily come to thought when you think of getting accommodations at the college level are some more of those medical situations, and our health center alluded to some of those before, but diabetes, Crohn's, we're seeing an uptick in post-concussion syndrome. Some of those students might not have sought accommodations in the K through 12 setting, but might benefit from them in college, where attendance policies might come into play. She mentioned needing doctor's notes and things like that. So having those accommodations in place in case you can't always get a doctor's note are important. We've also seen a big uptick, especially during the pandemic and post-pandemic, in mental health. So students who have a diagnosis of anxiety, depression, PTSD, and this is not an all-inclusive list, but those are just some examples of students who benefit from academic accommodations as well. And we also see students who might be in a temporary situation, post-surgery, might have a broken limb. We will meet with those students too to make sure that they're set up for success for even their temporary conditions. So I would like to encourage anyone watching this to go to our website. It has a wealth of information. We also have a lot of informational videos, and they're just little clips. So they might be anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes in length, but they're topic specific. So you don't have to sit through an entire 45-minute presentation. If you want to know about documentation, there's like a 7-minute video on what you should submit. If you want to know about testing accommodations, there's one on that. And I think in total, we have about 7 or 8 different informational videos that are really helpful. In terms of documentation, it's really important for students who are coming in this fall to get that documentation to us as soon as possible. That can be done through regular mail, through fax, or if you're comfortable, through email. And then those students will need to meet with me to determine what they are eligible for in terms of accommodations. It is a case-by-case basis, so it's not like a particular diagnosis gets a particular set of accommodations. It really is based on that diagnosis and the obstacles that student has faced in the past, might face in the future, and how we can sort of help set up accommodations so that that student can be as successful as possible. We are setting those meetings up now. I think our list is already up to, I want to say 120 kids for the incoming freshman class. So it is important to reach out sooner rather than later so that we have the opportunity to get those in place ready for the first week of classes. And I know that some students come from a K-12 setting that might not have left them in a place where they wanted to sign up for accommodations at the college level. We still very much encourage those students to sign up for accommodations, whether or not they eventually even end up using them. Students with a documented disability graduate at a semester ahead of their peers who do not register that first semester. So for students who come in with a documented disability, register right away their fall semester, are likely to graduate a full semester ahead of their peers who register at a later date. So it really is important to connect with our office and connect with our office right away. It is a little bit different at the college level in terms of getting those accommodations. The students are much more in the driver's seat. So for instance, one of our most popular accommodations, or most common, it's not popular, but most common accommodations is testing, extended time in separate location. You get to decide when and if you want to use that accommodation. And so students will sometimes come in thinking, if I sign up for this, I have to use it all the time in all of my classes. And that is not the case. The student decides. If it's a class that they don't think they're going to need that accommodation in, that's fine. If halfway through the semester they realize they do need it, they can start using it then. So they really are in the driver's seat. It's not a situation where they feel like they're being looked at or looked down upon. It's very confidential. All information is kept confidential in our office. The other thing is that we need to have a medical professional recommend the accommodation. So it can come in the form of an IEP or a 504. But if it's a recent diagnosis and your child or you as the student do not have an IEP or a 504, that doesn't mean you can't register. We just need you to get documentation from a licensed professional that speaks to your diagnosis and what accommodations you might benefit from at the college level. It's fluid. If you don't sign up your freshman year and you get to your junior year when classes start to get really hard and you want to sign up then, you can. You don't have to sign up at the beginning of the semester. At any point, you can always register for accommodations. We, of course, encourage you to do that as soon as possible, but just know that it is fluid. Accommodations can be changed, can be added to throughout your experience at Bloomsburg. Some of our most common accommodations that students use, interpreting services, testing accommodations, like I mentioned, separate location, extended time, those all transfer to the college level. We have separate private testing rooms. We have some semi-private testing rooms, so we can accommodate those needs in our office. Also, note-taking is a very common accommodation, as well as extended time for written assignments and other projects, or attendance flexibility. The attendance flexibility we see most often for students who have ongoing medical appointments they might need to return home for, and not always want to have to provide a note to their professors. If that attendance flexibility accommodation is listed, then they don't need to always seek that note out. That's also true of situations where a student might not seek treatment. So if they are a student diagnosed with Crohn's and they have a flare-up and are unable to attend class that day, they might not seek medical help because of the flare-up, because they can manage it on their own. They just couldn't attend class. That's another example of a student who would benefit from that attendance flexibility accommodation so that they're able to manage their symptoms appropriately. So I would encourage anyone on the call, if you're not comfortable speaking up in this environment, which you should feel very comfortable, but if not, reach out to our office. Our phone number is 570-389-4491. And anyone in the office would be more than welcome to speak with you about your specific case or your child's specific case.
Up next is University Store.
Good evening, everybody. I am Laura Hager. I am the manager of the University Store. I hope everybody has found a way to stay reasonably cool today. I just want to kind of go through a couple things. I know you probably have lots of questions about textbooks. The first most important thing is that The bookstore is actually owned by the Community Government Association, which is operated by students. So the executive board of the CGA makes all of the major decisions for the store. We, as you can see here, are more than just textbooks. We have tons and tons of clothing and gifts. We have health and beauty items, grocery items, of course, textbooks. We have a Husky Rewards loyalty program, which many of you probably heard about during orientation visits. We do Western Unions, money orders, we sell bus tickets and stamps. So the most important thing is buying and renting your textbooks. We generally say to budget approximately $400 to $600 per semester to purchase your textbooks. That varies widely depending on your major, what classes you're taking. Usually nursing majors are the most expensive textbooks, and then next in line would probably be the business majors. We have new, used, rental, digital, and a newer program called Inclusive Access, which I'll talk about quickly. You can visit our website, www.bloomustore.com, to order your textbooks, or you can come to the store and we will gather them for you. We open our website usually around August 1st that you can start ordering. So you can pre-order them and ask us to hold them at the bookstore for you, or when you move to campus. Or you can wait until you come to campus and come to the store. And actually going forward, we tested it during COVID and found that it worked better. So now you don't even have to worry about finding your own textbooks in the store. We have a counter that you can go up to and give us your student ID. We'll look up your classes. You can tell us which books you want and we will get them for you and bring them to you. So you don't have to worry about choosing the wrong book or anything like that. Quickly, Inclusive Access is a newer program, and many of you are going to see that you have classes that are using Inclusive Access. Your professors choose Inclusive Access because it is the least expensive way for you to get your textbooks. They are digital and you will access them through Bolt. And the charge will be posted to your MyHusky account after ad drop is over. So that works out nicely if you would like to use financial aid to cover that cost. With financial aid, the university allows students that have excess financial aid after your tuition and fees are paid. You can use up to $600 of that excess financial aid in the bookstore or on our website. You would need to grant permission on MyHusky and then use your student ID when you come to the bookstore. If there are any questions at any time about any of that, please ask me. And one thing I want to point out is if you have any questions at any time, please don't ever hesitate to come to the store and ask for me and I will help you. If you're having trouble accessing any of your digital books, you can email me, call me, stop in anytime. I don't want anybody to feel overwhelmed and worrying because sometimes there's technical issues and things like that. And then the last page here just has the store's information, the phone number, and then my information, my phone number and my email. And like I said before, please don't ever hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.
Thank you. Next up is BU Testing Center.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Kathy. I'm the Test Center Coordinator for Bloomsburg University. I'm going to try and share the screen here. Oh, there we are. So the BU Testing Center is, oh, there we are, a nationally certified, go ahead, forward, is a nationally certified test center through the National College Testing Association. We're one of only 5 in the state of Pennsylvania to have this designation, which means we're a comprehensive testing center. We offer tests that are needed by freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and the general public. So even when you've graduated from BU, you could come back here and take some certification tests if you need. Lately, we've been using the Safe Steps process during the COVID situation. So we do have some procedures in place that when you come in, you'll be asked to use the hand sanitizer or wash your hands just to be safer than sorry. And the staff will seat you distantly from other folks for a little while longer until we get the go ahead from the governor to open up the distancing. We do offer a convenient 24/7 online appointment scheduling. And for some tests that you do have to charge for, we do the payment processing online as well. So you don't have to handle cash here in the test center at all. We have trained and certified professional staff. We are a military-friendly test center. So for those in the military who want to use their Dante's benefits, we do give exams with that program. And our exam offerings here are integrated with your courses. So sometimes when you graduate with the higher level, into the higher level classes, you might need to come and take a certification to prove your skills to some potential employer. Next slide, please. Can I move forward? There we go. So as you see, the colors get darker. You start off with maybe for folks in the community, the lighter colored items, high school equivalency and workforce development. Once as a freshman, you get here when I'm anticipating many questions about the placement testing, English proficiency, or testing out of your writing placement course if you would prefer to be in the higher level course. We do have tests for college credit. We give university assessments as senior exit exams, and we proctor exams for students who may be taking a class at home over the break or the summer and want to transfer it back into Bloomsburg. And as you get into the higher levels, we do the entrance exams for graduate school, law school, and professional certification and licensure. We have the website, which is pretty self-serve. It's bloomu.edu/testing. The items on the left-hand side are probably going to be the most interesting for new students, and the items to the right are more about certifications. Placement testing. So we do different kinds of placement testing here in conjunction with the academic departments. ALEKS is what we use for the math placement. You can either take that at home on your computer, but there's some specifications about what kind of computer you need to have, and it has to have a webcam. For those of you that don't have a webcam at home and you need to come to campus to take it, we do have a private room here in the test center where you can sign up online, reserve the room with the webcam, and then take the test here. We do ASL1 interpreting placement testing. So if you already are coming to college with skills in American Sign Language and you need to know which level of course to sign up for, we give that placement test here. It is not online, so you'd have to come into the test center, and there are dates available on the website for that. We also give the ATIT's nursing entrance test. So if Bloomsburg is using that or is considering using that, we do that already. But we also give that to students who go to nursing school in the surrounding region. As of 2012, BU requires every graduate of the university to have some sort of proficiency in a second language, whether that's American Sign Language or some sort of foreign language. The foreign language test is also given here directly in a test center on specific computers with special software. So you would sign up at your convenience. Now, you don't have to take this test. You can just go ahead and sign up for a language if you want to take a language. But if you'd like to know where your current skill set level is compared with college work, this would be a good thing to take. It's free, and we offer it year-round, Monday through Friday. I said a little bit earlier about the Writing Placement Challenge. That is also here in the test center or through Zoom. So that's the one we could do online. If you were assigned into Enrich 101 and you wanted to actually take English 101, you can sign up for the Writing Placement Challenge to challenge that course placement. Again, information about placement testing, you can click on this link here. It says placement testing in the yellow, and that just goes over what I just shared. The foreign language information is the second link. But which language test do I need? So you'll find 3 of them on the site, and sometimes it's confusing, so let me go over it a little bit here. Most people are going to look for the one that says BU, BU Foreign Language Placement Tests. This is a multiple choice exam. You would earn your 2 MyCore General Education points in Goal 8. And there are the languages listed, and it costs nothing to you. And it'll tell you, here is your skill level. If you already come to college with knowing a second language, or you feel you're fluent in a second language, or you only speak this other language at home, you'd be a good candidate for either of the other 2 exams. The ACTFL is the spoken language test. You can earn 3 to 12 college credits in multiple languages listed over there for $113.50 per test. You'd only have to take 1 test, and you get to pick the language. So the better you do on the spoken test, the more credit you can earn. So you'd come into the test center, into the private room with the webcam and turn on the headset, and then you speak into the headset like we are tonight, and it would be recorded, and then someone at that company would grade it and send the score back to you. You would then bring in that score report, attach it with the letter to the director of the languages program, and then he would evaluate how many credits you get for what you already know. For those of you who are not so strong in the spoken language but prefer to do multiple choice, we have this option. It's called CLEP, C-L-E-P, and that's in Spanish, French, and German. Now, this one is also the better you do, the more credit you earn. So on the CLEP, if you get a 50, that's 6 credits in your pocket at BU. Not bad for 90 minutes of your time. However, if you get a 60 or higher on a CLEP test for languages, that's 12 credits in your pocket for 90 minutes and $132.50. Normally, that would take you for 12 credits, 64 weeks of your time and several $1,000s. So if you are a native speaker of another language, that would definitely be an option to look into. Next slide. Again, here's the information for the math, Alex. The last link there is how you'd sign up. It says university assessments. So sometimes students will call and go, wait a minute, it's not listed. Yeah, it is, but it's under a category heading. So the math placement is under university assessments. And that's also where you'll find the writing placement challenge. Next slide. Right there. Next slide. So this is the screen of what it's going to look like when you go to register. The online availability is there 24/7. So any time of day or night that you feel like scheduling yourself, please log in. Next slide. A couple of questions that we get here, and this will go pretty quickly. Where is the test center located? So we are located at 411 Light Street Road in Bloomsburg. This is the same building as the Unimart convenience store with a little gas station to the right of it. The center's entrance here, as you see in the picture, is in the back of the building. So we are between the campus and the hospital. And we have 10 designated parking spaces just to the side of that little fencing that you're seeing. So there's also easily accessed on foot over the catwalk that was mentioned earlier. Just come across from Montour Hall, walk over the highway, through the footbridge, and across the street. So park. If you're a student, students going to have to park with their car in our lot if there's space available. Now, if all of our 10 spaces fill up, no go on parking out front where the Unimart is. They will tow you. Just hint to the wise. Parking in back up the steps is reserved for the kids who live in the apartments above the test center. No go there, they tow you too. So if our 10 spaces are filled, your best bet is to walk over or come early and beat everybody else. And the visitors, the folks that come from Scranton and Wilkes-Barre and State College and such, they're the ones who will get to park with the parking passes. Next question. What should I bring with me? Well, your BU ID card is only good for those university assessments category. So ideally, you're going to bring your driver's license or your passport. Certain tests require the government issued ID. University assessments generally will accept the BU ID. If you have any questions, just call in. We're happy to help. Next slide. So examples for the BUID card are assessments such as your health science exit exam, your math placement, foreign language placement, the sign language interpreting reading test, and your major field tests for certain majors that test as a senior to see what did the department do well. It is not valid for your teacher testing, such as Praxis or Pearson VUE. Next slide. This is our lobby. So we do provide lockers. They are extra wide versions of the locker. So you can put your winter coat, your backpack, your drink, and everything else. Because really all we allow you to bring in is your ID and your glasses. No phones, no beverages. Sorry, the computers don't do well with beverages. If you are still wanting to, that's fine. If you still want to bring in a face mask, you're more than welcome to do that. But as of today, you don't have to do that anymore. But if you want to, that's fine. We'll let you. We just have to look at it, make sure you're not hiding any notes in. So a lot of times students will ask, so is the test center open if my classes are on the shortened schedule? Yes, we operate along the office schedule. So even if the classes are canceled at college, but the offices remain open, we're still in business. So yes, your appointment would still be honored. Now, if you want to change it, you call over or send us an email or just log back into your account in the registration software and change your appointment. That's fine too. But for the most part, we're open. The only time we really close is if the university closes. Our hours are Monday through Friday. Sorry, not the weekend. I know I get a lot of questions about that. But Monday through Friday, 8 to 12:30. We're off an hour for lunch. Then we're back 1:30 to 4:30. We're open year round. We're here in the summer. And we're open during winter session. We really only close the week between Christmas and New Year's. Next slide, please. We provide staff, computer, keyboard, mouse, hardwired internet access, which means consistent access. And that's been important lately. A webcam in the private room for specific tests that require it. We give scratch paper, pencils, lockers, tissues. We have restrooms in the building. We give you earplugs, ear muffs, and on-site parking. Next slide. And yes, you really can earn 6 to 12 language credits for passing the CLEP Spanish, French, or German test in 90 minutes. The most important thing, and here's how it's listed on the BU Registrar's CLEP page. So anytime you go to any college, you could take your CLEP ticket to anywhere and you look and see how much does it count for. So when you go to the CLEP page for the registrar at Bloomsburg, they list Spanish level 1 and Spanish level 2. It's all the same test, but the better you do, the more credit you earn. So if you get this 50, there's Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 at Bloomsburg for 6 credits. So it's really a good bang for your buck if you can study for that. Now, I'll give you an insider secret since you came to this session today. Not everybody gets this unless you stop in the test center. So you got to find us to get this. There's this group called Modern States. That's modernstates.org. And if you sign up with them and take their course on your own time, it's free. It's a study prep course for free. You pass their course, you finish it, they're going to give you a voucher to pay the test fee for the CLEP. So instead of it costing you $132.50, it's now costing you $43.50. And you can do it just not just for languages, you can do this for a whole host of gen ed courses. So it's to your advantage to check out that registrar's page. Next slide. If you're at home and you're taking a course, let's say you're living in the Bethlehem area and you're taking something over at Lehigh over the summer. And you say, can I transfer that back to Bloomsburg? Yeah, you can. But I need to take this test. Well, if they don't have a place to give you that test because you're doing it online and you're going to be in the area up here anyway, come in and we'll proctor the test for you. There is a fee for that since the credits come from another school, but we do have that service as well. So if you run into questions and you need to get a hold of us, we're located again in between the campus and the hospital, Monday through Friday. Pop in, actually pop in and have a tour on a day when you don't have to come take a test. Then it's going to be a little less intimidating. You get the feel for the place and you know where you're going. So I thank you for your attention and have a great evening.
All right, thank you. If there's any last minute questions, please throw them in the chat and the Q&A, and we'll stay on for a couple more minutes just in case we do have any of those last minute questions. But other than that, you are free to go. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.